So, it's fresh air. How are you doing? Test one, two. Test. All right, test one, two. How's everybody doing today? Today's been a extraordinary day. It's been a day of triumph, day of trying to understand why we have such emotional connections sometimes to certain situations, and sometimes we can't turn off our intuition and we get out of control. So, what I'm saying is sometimes there's situations where we can't control our emotions because we have blocked our ability to basically center ourselves to understand that what we're probably getting mad about is being fostered up from past experiences. Now imagine if you can unplug your past experiences and your future experiences, just put everything into one and just basically forget about it for just a moment. You could then now address situations much more clear with a better understanding, where you now freely feel like you're in the moment. Your mind, ultimately, so hear me out. Pull up a seat, take a seat. Let's have a little moment with a little chat with fresh air. I'm here to help you out. A lot of times we all have situations where we get irritated. We feel a certain way, and our intentions aren't to veer far from I'm complaining. Well, sometimes addressing the situation is putting your thoughts out there. And sometimes how we think shouldn't be judged. It's just at least how we get it out there and we start thinking, this is how we think. This is what I believe in, and this is what I struggle with, or this is what I wish I could be like. There's certain strengths that we all have and talents that we possess that others have. And it's always a joy to see others prosper and do good and follow in their triumph. I mean, you can see people have their moments where they're feeling good, and it's really nice to see people doing their grind. You know what I mean? Like they're following in their purpose. They're finding happiness in what they do. Our realities are different. Here's a little tidbit I'll give you. Imagine a day where everybody you come across has a different opinion about how you look or how your day's going. People look at you on the outside of the outside of your body. They look at body language. They look at, but a lot of people don't understand to look at that. So what I'm trying to get at is every person throughout your day has a different opinion about how they look at you. Now, I'm not saying focus on what people think of you, but I'm trying to help you understand that we look at everybody else differently, individually. But sometimes we get biased opinions, which then veer us from actually looking at them or actually focusing in what they have to say. If we have biased opinion on just by a book of a color, I mean, maybe they're still learning, they're going to get there. A little, there's a path. We all have different times where we become better at what we do, and we come to understand that we're struggling sometimes along the way with our own inner self, our inner child that is crying, needs attention, needs love, respect. So what do I do for the day instead of being irritated with things? What practices do I continue doing to maintain my healthy outlook on life? So how's everything going with the mental? The mental state of mind changes from frequency to frequency. Sometimes we go into different rooms and different realms, and sometimes it feels like, wow, I feel kind of exhausted right now, or You feel kind of hyper in certain situations or around certain people. Well, it's very true. It's the vibrations are different realms. It's different ways people look at you. The reality is, if the vibration of this room is coming with 30 people in a, gotta just extend your hand and say, here, what vibration are we putting out? And then you expect nothing to happen. You know what I mean? If we're trying to get some balance in our lives, we're going to have to understand that we're going to have some more uplifting too. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to have everybody. I'm just saying we're going to learn to coexist. We're going to try to, shed some light on that. You know what I'm saying? There's some honor to your legacy, and that you don't have to have or feel somebody else can take that from you. I'm from the block too. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's situation is different. Now, there's some that would, just fall in line with the regular, just be fucking knucklehead. Or there's a time when in your life where you just finally, all right, I'm at the age where I should probably turn it around. And it doesn't take a lot of work. Really, it doesn't. I mean, you could turn it's different times in different lives that we have an aha moment where we actually feel like, ooh, I could work with this. Sometimes it's only like 20 days, and some days it's 100 days for some. But it depends on where you're at. If you really want some change, you found the right place. You're going to have some ups and downs throughout your life. We just need some youth understanding. You know what I'm saying? We're trying. OG's coming back. A lot of us are. A lot of us are coming back because we just want love and respect to come back too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you my experiences the right way. I can't tell you your experiences either, or vice versa. What I'm saying is, just hear me out when I speak. Some days I'm going to be right on point, and some days I'm going to be just off. Or some days I'm just going to be looking like I just smoked some crack or something. Because it might go in a different frequency or different hearing for you. It could be a different volume for you. It could be a different idea than you. But I'm just a food for thought in the spirit of the Most High, with the honor to carry truth, that we just have to find that the news is going to carry this fear-mongering situation out. Yes, it's a terrible tragedy. Yes, it's horrible. But the truth, we can't really get the truth out unless the President of the United States allows. I mean, that's up to him. I don't want to be a bad person by just all of a sudden, talking about, I can't jeopardize any operations or things like that, so I can't just say it's a spiritual witchcraft. They were doing something at the festival, let's say. The festival, if you're doing low vibration sounds on Holy Land, maybe, just saying. Maybe they got wind of, hey, let's go do this and prove a point. Well, who are these people? I bet if you start looking into their their material, they probably are all doing what I say they were. Some of them posted about that stuff. Now, if that's the truth, I can't get you any further than that. And that this war might be over sooner than you think. You get what I'm saying? We don't even have to have a war. Seriously, we might be looking at the news a little differently. Look at the people standing on the rubble. If there's a big war going on, there's just all this big crazy shooting and all that. I could just imagine what it's like to be there. And I would feel very sad for a lot of people. But I would also say that we would also build back. So, maintain a positive attitude that we just need a little bit of who's actual The truth is yes, a lot of people want to know what's going on. A lot of people want to know what's going on. Best thing to do is just say, give it up to God. Give it up to Him to give you your intuition to say the right thing or talk about it or understand what you need to do to get through your life. That's what we need to do every day, is also ask, what should we do for God? I'm here, I talk about world issues too. I kind of go with the open discernment. I say about some things that are going to be able to stand the test of time. I look back at some of my stuff I listen to and I'm going like, wow, that's too spot on. But it can be very much of a coincidence on some of them. But majority of them we're talking about, the world is talking about. You know. So leading up to this, there was an urgency there. If you listen to a lot of my stuff, I didn't know exactly this was going to be on that. But with the truth, now that I got that download today, it makes sense. You know, I'm not saying go with violence. No. It sheds some light on the urgency. Meaning, there's no right or wrong, right or reason. There's no picking sides, no canceling, nothing like that. You can't go off somebody else's words anyways if you haven't been there straight, right? If you haven't seen it straight for your own eyes, how could you consume yourself with certain articles or whatever without doing your own homework? And that is, find your peace with God sooner than later. The most important thing is to realize is you're loved. That no matter what, you can turn it up and be one. You can go home. Go where you belong. Or you can carry on. A lot of you, I appreciate all of you listening in. The ones that, we'll get this channel up here pretty soon. It's just, I haven't networked at all, really, actually. I pretty much was hoping one of those, maybe like 10 or 20 top promoting, yeah, and then we get on there and they promote some of my stuff and we kind of talk business and we see a profit and we see a opportunity, not a profit for me, but more of a opportunity to build a perfect opportunity for a lot of people to make some differences, you know. It's just basically, we all have a story, we all have a way of thinking, we all have a different way of thinking, we all have a right way of thinking, we all have a wrong way of thinking, we have overthink, underthink, don't think at all, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different things, but there's thinking going on. That's what I'm trying to acknowledge, that don't hold back. If you're thinking a certain way, just try to work with it and figure it out. Because sometimes you give some food for thought for other people to then, oh, aha, yes, we can do this, we can do that, we can fix this, or we understand this, and then they can give clarity to the rest of the world. You get what I'm saying? So some discernment is not going to be directly straight all the way through truth, because sometimes it's not available. It's not available for the public either. Some stuff, you know, the public needs just to know that there is a Savior out there. That there's a spiritual world going on right now. We all have to keep our prayers and our hearts to God, and you will be all right. God bless.